Right, so what you're watching right now is footage of an incident that happened there last Sunday afternoon. This is Thursday now, so that would have been the last day of June. And this was in broad daylight in the afternoon, in the middle of the local estate I live in, where I'm just sitting at a local bonfire, which you can see in the background. And I was sitting there for quite a good while. When I went there, there was some guys just dumping wood for the local bonfire that happens every year, and some other guys dumping wood, and there was about 10 to 15 young people at a bigger fire nearby me on the same grass patch. And I say it must have been about a good 20 minutes until this guy showed up. So, first of all, I'm talking while you're watching this because the audio when I was recording this seemed to not have worked. That's happened before. Don't know why, but I'm just here explaining. So, there was a bunch of young people, and they were kind of quite alerted that there was a police vehicle kind of watching. And weirdly enough, one of the guys that was dumping the wood, it looked as if he was called over to the car at the driver's window of the police car. And I've noticed that the guy sort of looked over to my direction and then continued as if he was having a conversation. So then what happened was this guy here came out of the car, and I thought, my immediate assumption was I thought he was going to go towards the big crowd of young people, but he ended up coming towards me. I was by myself, minding my own business, having a smoke in front of a fire, a wee small fire that I made for myself, and I found it very, very odd, him coming towards me. So he came over and immediately asked where I'm from. Said I live locally, and he kept on pressing to know exactly my whereabouts, where I live, and including wanting to know my name. So I asked him, I challenged him on for what reason, and he just kept on saying, I just need your details to check you through. And I said to him, have you suspect me of doing a crime? So it was quite tit for tat, the usual tit for tat of someone who stands up for their rights against an ignorant police officer. So he, this guy here, as soon as I started recording, because I just knew it was going to go downhill, then you can sort of see him there kind of, frowning the fact that I'm recording him. But he's turned his body cam on without informing me. Didn't tell me his shoulder number or his own name, which that's police policy to do. So those are 3 strikes already, and I kept on resisting giving my name and where I live. See, from my point of view, is that if you just like to keep private and keep to yourself, and you adore your human rights of privacy and everything, they don't see that. He used some terrorist legislation against me because it's marching season in the country of Northern Ireland. A lot of crime happens, this and that, blah blah blah. But how can you use that when I'm sitting there in broad daylight in the heart of the estate, where there's windows all facing the same piece of grass, facing each other? It's in the afternoon on a Sunday. how could I be possibly doing wrong? This guy said, I said to him, why did you not ask for any of all those other people's details? And he says, oh, because I know them all, I don't know you. So I have sort of two kind of reasons. I'm thinking this guy works in the area quite locally, or he lives locally and he's just trying to be nosy. But this guy, from my point of view, looks more of a terrorist than anyone else. Like, he looks like a right smuggish looking terrorist looking guy. So he then arrested me, brought me to the car, because I refused to give all my personal information to this quack. And yep, the vehicle was moving. I actually had some plans to visit a church later in the afternoon there, to see a few former acquaintances. So he gave me the opportunity to de-arrest me in the car if I provided him my details. So I did, and he released me, and he gave me this reference number to complain to the ombudsman. And he was aware that I recorded some footage, as you're seeing right here. And to conclude, he whenever he let me go free after I coughed up my details to this guy, he then said what his name was. I'm Andy. Well, you're supposed to know. You're supposed to inform me anyway. And he says, so that I'll know who you are next time. So when I see you next time, I'll say hi. That was his words. This guy right here. So I made a complaint to the ombudsman about this guy, with all the relevant reference numbers. It was a bit of a runaround before that, because I was wanting to get some sort of legal advice from a solicitor in Newton Ards. He told me to go to the local police station to complain. I went to the police station. It was closed. I had to wait for a while. I got in and they just told me you have to, ring them up or do it online. So it was a bit of a waste of time there. But I'm going to update the wording of this video in the description and the main title as soon as, if I can, be able to get this idiot's name. But see how far it goes. But his words were, please do not, if you're going to upload this, blur my face out, because I have family and kids or something along those lines. Well, if you're so worried about that there, but at the same time you're going to embarrass me in a local estate where I'm local, I live local, in front of a bunch of people who had no issues with me whatsoever, and you make a big scene out of me and you embarrass me, and you're going to get exposed, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to expose you. I was willing to take it all the way to the station until I get proper legal assistance, but I know these scenarios with me are going to happen again, where you'll just get a police officer who'll jump the gun, and I didn't end up going to church later that evening because this incident right here kind of shit it on my day. But yeah, I'm going to expose this guy. Going to upload you, your big baldy head and mug. He kind of was not too bad really. He wasn't. He was just very pushy. He wasn't like, super reckless or aggressive. He kind of was trying to be all buddy buddy with me, build a bit of rapport, but at the same time, very very pushy still. So yeah, there you go. This is this video, but I will upload this, and I will update the description box and the naming of this title if I find out who this guy actually is. So there you go. That's my rant over. Goodbye.